What's up, guys? I'm Tim Geddes. I'm here with Justin Davis,
Yo.
and we are taking a look at Super Mario 3D Land.
Uh-huh.
We're doing this to celebrate Nintendo's 125th anniversary.
Look at these 3D graphics, Tim.
So this game is very, very special to me because I never thought that we would get this.
Yeah.
A 3D Mario that plays like a 2D Mario.
Right, that's totally right. Every single time you think you understand like what Nintendo's going to do with Mario, they've just proven themselves willing over and over and over again to kind of flip the script.
Yeah, and what's really awesome is I remember when Super Mario 64 came out. Amazing game. One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Mario to me. Like,
Right.
because I like obstacles. I like getting through the, like, jumping and platforming and getting to the end,
Sure.
the flagpole.
Yeah, you and I did the Mario 64 commentary, and we talked about how, in a lot of ways, it's a great game, one of the best of all time, but it was not afraid to be something totally different. Like, there's not actually that much pure platforming in that game. It's
At
more
all,
about, like,
yeah.
adventure and sort of figuring things out and solving sort of, some sort of simple puzzles. And the platforming was limited to the 2D games. They did the new Super Mario Brothers games.
Yeah, so there was those, but for the Mario 64, the Bowser levels were the kind of the platform challenge levels, and then in Sunshine there was that whole set of floodless levels, and so this game is pretty much those extended, like the entire game of that, and it's awesome.
Yep, it's the first time that we got a 3D Mario that was all about just pure platforming and didn't have all that sort of exploration elements we were talking about. There are still secrets in all the levels.
Yeah, it even controls like the 2D Marios where you have to hold a run button to run and jump, and it's just, I love it.
It's classic in a lot of ways. It brings back the timer you're seeing here. It brings back the flagpole to end the levels, and so
and the Tanuki suit.
Yeah, exactly, the Tanuki suit. There's all these little clues that this is more like a 2D game. It's a little bit hard to explain. This is more like a 2D game made 3D than the other 3D Marios. Than a sequel to the traditional 3D Marios. It's like forget Mario 64 or Mario World, or forget Mario 64, Sunshine, or Galaxy happened, and you just went straight from like Super Mario World to this. This is like kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's a cool thing, and I like that we now have 3 different sets of Mario platformers, where we have the 3D adventure games, the 2D platform games, and the 3D platform games.
Yep, because we eventually, what you're alluding to here is that we actually did get a sequel to this in Mario 3D World on the Wii U, which is just an incredible game.
That just took this and just like made it even broader of like an awesome thing.
I really, really liked a lot of stuff. There's a lot of really clever platforming happening in 3D Land, and that's part of the reason why I hopped into this level specifically, where every single time you jump, those platforms sort of rotate. Yeah. And we're playing on maybe I'll go show the hard version of this level after this, but like, sort of the easier version of each stage. Like, there's nothing too crazy going on here, but in true Nintendo fashion, there's 3 hidden coins, right? And so if you just want to blast through these levels, like, it's not really too bad if you've been playing Mario your whole life like I have, but to get the 3 coins, which you have to do to unlock everything that's going on in this game, is actually much, much, much more challenging.
Yep. And this game has a lot to offer, especially for a portable game. Like, you go through the 8 worlds, then another 8 worlds unlock, and then you can play through it as Luigi, and there's like of course the perfect run challenge level at the end. Yep. If you get all the tops of the gold,
and it does like
and stuff.
If you are a younger player, like a lot of young kids have a 3DS and they just kind of mess around with it. They're not like hardcore gamers like you and me, Tim. It does have the sort of if you die a lot, you can have Invincible Mario, and like it's friendly to people that are newer to games and just kind of want to bounce around and have a fun time. And you actually get like when you get to World 8. Let me pop into World 8. Like, the game ends, right? Like, you get an ending and you rescue the princess. And, like, if that's all you want to do, you can be totally satisfied doing that. But then there's a whole nother, like, set of secret. There's, like, 8 more worlds.
Yeah. And it's awesome. Like, it's so good. And those are all the challenge ones. And it's
that's my favorite thing that Nintendo does these days is, the games are almost twice as long as you think they're going to be. So let me see if I can find it's in
this game also has a lot of a really nice blend of Mario 64's look and Galaxy's kind of like small little bits and pieces of like level design and stuff. And it's awesome. And there's a lot of Galaxy inspired things like this level. That looks like a Galaxy level.
For sure. And it's a little bit, it's one of those things where like you can make things easier or tougher for yourself. Like, I happen to have the Tanuki suit here, which should hopefully not make this too brutal. But if you happen to have the wrong suit, like, some stuff that can be easy can suddenly become much more difficult.
And even like the camera, one thing that we haven't even really brought up here is the fact that the 3D effect on the 3DS
Yeah.
is amazing in this game.
The stereoscopic 3D. I actually did. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. I did eventually turn it off.
Really?
Yeah, I know. But like, I was so. It was the first game that I really got. I'm like, all right, I understand like the 3D on the 3DS. Like, I get it. You know, there's those puzzles that you need to if you don't have the 3D on.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of hard to solve. Like, you can't really figure out how to jump. It's the game that really fulfilled the yes.
There we go.
It's the game that fulfilled the promise of Nintendo always makes games where the hardware works with the software, or vice versa. The software
not
works
always.
with the hardware.
Still waiting to see on this Wii U business.
No, sure. But I mean, like, think about, for example, how Mario 64 was made with the Nintendo 64 controller
With the analog in mind.
and this
all
game
that.
was made with stereoscopic 3D in mind.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but it was the first game that the 3D, I was like, oh, wow, this actually helps the gameplay. It makes it look better. It's not just super gimmicky.
Yep.
And the gimmicks there worked, and they made, like, there was a point to them, and it wasn't just like, oh, hey, things are blowing up at you and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was helpful with puzzle solving. I like there's all kinds of little details. Like, I just raised an M flag because I'm playing as Mario, but the last time I beat that level was with Luigi, so it was an L flag.
Yeah.
And so I like that he's, like, lowering his brother's flag. He's like, nah.
Well, anyways, guys,
this level now.
This game is amazing. Let us know in the comments what you think, and stay tuned to IGN for a bunch more Nintendo Let's Plays.